First of all, I'd like to thank very much Paolo Kaufman and all the board of FARO for having included me in their board of directors as a delegate for innovation. And I thank also very much all the speakers that came before me after the coffee break, because everyone has spoken about innovation, so it makes my job easier now. And however, I'd like to extend it more on the principle of open innovation. What is open innovation? We talk about, in the world, we talk about open innovation from about 20 years. Open innovation, in essence, is to try to buy and do part of the R&D that is normally done within the companies, to seek for innovation outside and buy that innovation from other companies. This in the world has led to significant advantages in terms of faster time to market and cost savings. Just to give you some indicators, across the world, at least across the countries in the mature part of the world, I'm not talking about emerging markets, about 65 to 70% of new jobs are created by companies that are at most 4 or 5 years old. In addition to that, within those 5 years, those companies that are from scratch, startups, create on average of 10 working places. So open innovation is something that big corporation as well as private in the sense of non-quoted companies across the world need to really think about. And particularly in a country like Italy, where the backbone of the industrial system is not the major corporation. Yes, of course, we have in Italy also 20, 40, 50, 100 maybe companies, international companies, quoted companies with headquarters abroad, as well as some of them with headquarters in Italy that can talk about open innovation. But the backbone of Italy is the several hundred thousands of companies that here are definitely represented, that are private, that are creative, that have unique stamina and creativity amongst their entrepreneurs, and that ultimately also have probably those economic and financial resources that, even if stressed severely in the past years with the struggles of the economy, still make Italy and position Italy as one of the highest countries in the world for private savings. Therefore, there is a recipe here, and there is something that we need to carefully look at. Just an estimate that relates to Italy. It is estimated that open innovation could bring, based on the figures that come from other countries, could lead in Italy to a growth of 1.9, marginal growth of 1.9% on GNP. So you can imagine how much is this, how much this could represent. Now, so what's our effort to make it happen in a different way? BANUP. BANUP, and here is in Italian. BANUP is the result of work that, together with friends and colleagues of mine, I've done. Is following the experience I had as a business angel, as a small independent advisor to SMEs, working across the supply chain and having fun working across generations, teaching and learning at the same time. BANUP is an advisory company initially, and a participation company, an holding company, that wants to, not to be exclusive, but wants to be inclusive for all the players along the supply chain, from startup to investors, to big corporations as well as to SMEs and private companies, large companies that are Italian as well as international. The scope of the initiative is international, it's not just Italian. We are going to be incorporated as a limited company within the next weeks. And I'm pleased to say that I'm one of the founders, together with other colleagues that you'll see later on, but I'm also pleased to say that Paolo Kaufman has has taken the decision, because he definitely saw big opportunities in this project, to become one of the shareholders. And I'm here exactly to speak as a board member of FARO as well as founding member of BANAP, because together, or when I say together, I mean with you guys, we want to kick off a series of projects that together will deliver additional values to our businesses as well as to the country. I said before that BANAP is inclusive, is not exclusive. What do I mean? I mean, for example, that in a situation where, apart from US, Israel, or UK, whereby investments made by angel investors or venture capital equals billions and billions of dollars of euro. Well, let's take one of our close cousins that has been mentioned several times in by the previous speakers, and that is, from a manufacturing, industrial point of view, the leading country in Europe, Germany. In Germany, the amount of investments made on a yearly basis between VCs and angel investors equals about 2 billion. In Italy, it's only 150 million. And I said before, in Italy, there are huge amounts of money, private savings, that for one reason or another, they're not passed through the VCs. So the close and prime objective of BANAP is really to work together with the industry, matching, doing scouting upstreams with startup, and receiving brief and speak and listen to the industry, to the entrepreneurs, for their companies and themselves to invest directly into those companies, into those startups, within the principle, as I said, of open innovation, not downgraded, just exploded from the big corporation also to the private companies that in this country are in abundance, and they desperately need to innovate. We heard before that the equipments are on average of 12 years old. It's inclusive because we want to create a virtuous circle where everyone, with the concept of a club, as FARO is, sits together, raises hands and say, hey guys, if I want to stay on the market in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, I need something new. But I don't necessarily have the time with my resources and with my internal skills to find a solution. I need some expertise coming from outside. And on the other side of the table, there are partners, and I'm one of them. I'm a mentor at the Polyhub. Polyhub is the incubator of the Politecnico di Milano. From a ranking that is done on a yearly basis by UBI, it's a classification on the best university incubators. Polyhub has been ranked #2 in Europe for 2015 and #5 across the world as a university incubator. I'm an advisor and a senior mentor there. We need to move lots of start-uppers, lots of young entrepreneurs, and not just young entrepreneurs. People may think that young entrepreneurs, start-uppers are kids like Zuckerberg coming from university. Wrong. At least in Europe, the average age of start-uppers is in the year of 40s. In Baden-Württemberg, just to talk once again about Germany, The majority of startuppers are people that are former engineers from Bosch, from Siemens, from Mercedes, from the other major automotive companies that at the age of 40, 45 had decided to start their own business. And therefore, we need to close that loop, and again with the principle of joining forces, of working together, try to facilitate this one. Because there is this gap, I don't know if there is this gap that is not reached by anybody. Business angels are not able to make certain investments. They're too big. VCs, at least in Italy, as I explained before, are only insignificant. Why? Well, maybe because the same entrepreneurs that sit here, and there are many more outside in the country, rather not give the money to the VCs, and if they want to give money and invest money in a venture, they rather do it directly. So we try to intercept that trend. And we want to do it with a process that is not expected to be simple. Nothing is simple when the dreams and the vision are ambitious, but that is definitely very, very straightforward. We need to just scout effectively, receive brief effectively, sit together, agree, and then become part of this network and do the investment and hopefully bring in those solutions for the open innovation. BANAP, therefore, is going to be established, as I said at the beginning, as a limited company, and who's in BANAP? They're definitely business angels, but we have already the adherence of entrepreneurs and companies, family offices, all representing those sectors, those categories of people that is, as mentioned before, detain roughly 3 times the Italian GNP on private savings. The initiative is promoted as a founding members by myself and by 2 other colleagues in the angel investor arena, Italian and international, and the 4th partner is a legal and fiscal firm from Milan with offices across Europe, particularly in Germany, and with strategic alliances in China, with a partner that is also a legal firm and partners. And that's the reason why we like to invite FARO members to speak with the board, with FARO, with myself, with Paolo, with everyone, because indeed the concept is that together, in an inclusive way, we can start projects whereby we can find good opportunities for your companies to innovate more effectively, cheaper, more rapidly, looking also outside, and together coming to that lead and to that growth that the country deserves, that your companies deserve, and that will make all of us happy to work particularly in a cross way with multi-generation with people from other generations. And I think I've been as rapid as I could, and I would be more than pleased to answer some questions in Italian or in English, up to you. Thank you.